Hello everyone. Today we'll be making a jazz kit using Superior Drummer 3. Make sure to subscribe and I will make more drums for you. So first thing we have to do is become very fancy. We need to be very like theory and all about the F sharp and all these things, right? Jazz, to be a jazzy guy. So a typical jazzy guy loves music theory and all different types of jazz, like Latin jazz, bebop, jazz fusion, gypsy jazz, and all the other ones. So, the first thing we'll get into is the kick. So, the kick, we want something very tamed and chill and relaxing. So, let's hear the default kick that we got. So this is a default Superior Drummer 3 kit, so we're starting from scratch. So let's check out the kick. So let's change this kick to a more, let's try one of these. See, that one is too boomy, so let's try this. I like that already. That sounds great. So kick is done. 18 by 20 iot classic. Let's move on to the snare. So our snare sounds like that. That's the default snare. It's okay, but we can mess around a little bit. So the problem with these snares that I've chosen already is that they're a little too intense. We need something more snarey sounding. I like that, I like that. So far, when it comes to snare choice, I like this one the best. This one just fits with that kick the most. So that's our snare, the Pearl Masters Custom, 6 by 14 inches. Let's move on to some toms. So now the toms, we want them all to be the same kind of family. Let's find out what that is. After listening, I think these toms sound the best. Literal default toms. And what's interesting about these toms is that there's only 2 of them. And as a jazz drummer, you really don't need many toms. You just need 1 rack tom and 1 floor tom. Like shit, man. There's bands out there, metal bands, that have only 2 toms on their drum kit. We need to be very tasty with what we're choosing. We, as jazz players, are very minimalistic. Next, let's move on to the hi-hat. As a jazz drummer, you probably want something kind of medium size. So I think we should go with this 15-inch hi-hat, default hi-hat. Sounds great. So next thing, let's move on to the crashes. So the crashes, we have kind of a limited choice. So I would say these don't sound bad, honestly. You could work with those, but I want something a little bit bigger and darker. So this one, I'm gonna go for, we could try the dark crash. I even have a section. Yeah, right there, like that's perfect, just. And then for our left crash, maybe something a little darker on the accent. So we want things very, very chill and not too bright. So So that sounds great. The last thing I would like to do is the ride, because the ride gets hit so much in jazz. Even this little riff thing. It's like typical jazz beat. So this ride is a little too... It's a little too washy. So something like this that kind of, when they hit the ride, it sounds very easy to hear, and you hear just almost like the bell and a slight bow edge. And that will make up your jazz kit. Please subscribe for more of this, and I will see you in the next video.